My name is Lisa, and I'm an internal support coordinator with WEX FSM, and I wanted to welcome you all today to today's session of Solutions Studio. There will be 20 sessions in the rotation that will cover different features of the software. In the first 4 days of the week, we'll cover different features, and Fridays will be reserved for Q&As. To access the sign-up calendar, go to your Help Center and click on Search for Help, search Solutions Studio, and the article will come up that contains the calendar and any of the previous webinar replays that you haven't been able to attend. Remember, these sessions are not a replacement for customer support. It's kind of like using 911. If you're having an issue or something is not working in your system, reach out to customer support right away. Do not wait for a webinar. We have a whole team waiting to help you. So go to your Help Center on the bottom right-hand side of your screen and click Contact Support and let them know what your question and issue is, and they will be able to help. Please remember there's a short survey at the end to tell us how we're doing and if there are any subjects you would like us to include in our webinars. So we really appreciate your help, any feedback on this. So if you see anything that's not on the schedule that you want us to go over, please make sure that you add that in either the chat here or in the survey. So let's get started. Today we're doing Profit Rhino, flat rate, and the best practices. So Profit Rhino is very large. So it's a good thing that it's very large. And it's also a bad thing that it's very large because if you go to search an item, so I'm going to go to the invoice list and I'm going to pull up an invoice. And if I click add item and I go to the flat rate price book, and I don't know why my help center keeps coming up, but it does today, so bear with me. And I type in capacitor, it's going to bring in 53 pages of capacitors. So if your tech is in the field and they're searching for capacitors and start going through this scroll, they're going to give up and create a custom line item. But there's an easier way to search. You can go to flat rate folders. You can go to HVAC. You can go to capacitors. And in 4 clicks, I have the capacitor that I need and I can add it to the invoice. So if you go by folders, you're going to find it much quicker than you can if you go for the search feature. Some items, there may only be one, but capacitors, as we know, that there's a ton of them and there's all sizes. So searching by the folder is the best. One of the other things that I wanted to show you about the item, when you actually add the item, there's some information in here. It has the item name, it has the QuickBooks name, it has a description. Usually you can tell it's a flat rate because it starts with a T number in here. The unit price, the quantity, available savings, and then it has the parts below. So with Profit Rhino flat rate, you kind of tell the system what you want your labor rate to be, and they have an industry standard, air quotations, part cost that they add to the flat rate repair. And it's only for repair. It's not for install. It's just for repairs. So if you're looking for an install price book, Profit Rhino is a service price book. So it has the part in here, it has the quantity, it has the income account, which I'll show you where you can add. The one thing that I want you to notice is the labor. They also use an industry standard amount of time for labor. And I don't know anybody in the industry who charges 53 minutes to replace a capacitor. They usually charge by the hour and don't go into this detail. So when you go to look at the price, this may be just a hair low for what you would normally charge. And I'm going to show you how to update your labor rate so that you can account for any of these small ones. So if you go to more applications, price book, we now have a feature that's called flat rate tiered markups. Okay. This is a new feature. We haven't had it for very long. Used to be you would only could have one markup rate. And now we have a graduated markup range that you can customize. You can come in here and if you update all of these and you don't like it, you can go back to recommended defaults. The 3 dots here will let you add a row above and a row below if you want to section these out more. And you can come in and change the range on all of these and put a percentage on here. So that can dial this in even more for you. The other is under Manage Subscriptions. So if you go to Settings, Subscriptions, and then you'll bring up Additional Products. Here's where your settings are under Edit Subscription so that you can change your labor rates. And we've also added, if you have more than one trade, sometimes plumbing hourly rate is different than HVAC and commercial is different than residential. We used to didn't have this. We used to have one rate, an hourly rate, an hourly cost, an income account, a labor income account, and a part and class. But now you can sort this to how you'd like it. So as I mentioned on the invoice, it said 0.88. So if you went to residential and your price was a little bit low, you could update your residential labor rate maybe to 110, 120. So you could go in there and say, okay, my hourly cost is 110. It's not coming in right at the moment. You could go 140. This is real time. So if you update this, save your invoice, go back out and go back in, it will update when you add a new item to the new hourly rate. You'll have to delete the old item because it was loaded under the old settings, but then you can kind of spot test to see where your sweet spot is to make sure that you're charging enough with Profit Rhino so that you don't have to go into every invoice and update it and change the amount. And remember, whenever you change the amount, you have to click the little arrow to make sure that it stays. Okay. Let's see. There's not a whole lot on the flat rate to go over today. Hopefully you have plenty of questions because it's pretty straightforward. The other one that I wanted to show you is how it shows up on the job P&L. Because remember when I said that they had an industry standard part cost? They used to didn't reveal this to us, and it was hard to do job costing. And there goes my thing again. So if you come into profit and loss and see details, this is one that was added from Profit Rhino. And you can now see the product cost on your jobs. This didn't used to show in there. So you could see your labor and you could see your revenue, but you couldn't really see how much the part cost you unless you came in and added it manually in here or you did a purchase order for it. So now you can see the part cost, your labor, your revenue, so that way you can do job costing on residential service as well now. The other thing that I wanted to show you was, remember I said these are for service. And they base their pricing on replacement parts, which may not be from where you buy your regular vendor parts. But they do have a folder in here that does have some OEM repairs, original manufacturer repairs. And you can come in and you can go down and see what they offer and see if it's close to what your pricing is. Because if you're a vendor, if you have a distributor, you may get better pricing than what is in here. But like Lennox has 1,083 parts in here. And you can go take a peek and see and search them and see if any of these are ones that you would use. If they are, you can always go in and part any that you like and hide any that you don't want someone to choose. So let's say you have 3 expansion valves here and you always use this one. This is the only one you use for whatever you install. You could heart this and then you could hide the other 2. So when they're searching and they put in that number, then this is the only one that's going to show. So you have the option of dialing this in and making it a little more customized to you. And you can do this in any category. So if I went back to HVAC, for some reason, every time I do that, it's popping back up. Gotta love it. So if I go back into capacitors, if you click on the red caret, it'll give you a list of everything. And if you click on the number, it will bring you into the list view. Evidently, I need help today because the help center isn't helping me. So it comes in and it will also show you here the standard price, the price if you give a maintenance plan discount, and they've also put in here the labor hours. And once again, you can heart or hide. And if you're going to heart something, when you hit add item, it will show up as hearted here. And you can search by favorites alone so that they come up very quickly and you don't have to go by folder. So you also have the option of recently used. Just make sure that you check the pricing on the recently used, or if you copy from another invoice, that you make sure that you're updating your price because you may have edited that on the previous invoice. Okay, that's about it for Profit Rhino.